No.
It was in the helmet box. I have like 2 hat boxes and a helmet box. I looked at the hat boxes first. It was in the helmet box with the Viking helmet and the Isildur helmet from the Lord of the Rings.
That's a good box.
Yeah.
Most people wouldn't say they have a helmet box in their attic. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, well, so there you can see the
number one dad. Yes. So happy Father's Day again.
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
Go for it.
Go for it. My number 5 is Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, wow. Okay. I forgot that was in 93. I didn't even notice it.
It was in there 93?
Yeah. That's it. Okay. So now I see why you say you don't remember it that well. I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah. You're not recording that part. We're admitting that we don't know the movie and we're doing the movie. You're gonna have to cut this part out.
Yeah, we'll do a lot of editing on this episode. But no, yeah, but Robin Williams, I remember he's in it, obviously.
Yes, Robin Williams. He got a divorce. He didn't have custody of children.
Right. Sally Field plays the wife, right?
Right. So in order to see the kids, he dresses up as a woman.
Yes.
And pretends to be the maid.
That's a ridiculous premise that really should not work. But yeah.
It's one of these, dress up as a woman thing.
Yeah. Kind of like taking Tootsie and taking it to the next level, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and Pierce Brosnan plays the boyfriend. That's a good joke. The run by fruiting. I remember that.
Yeah. So it was, it wasn't that great of a movie.
Uh-huh.
I mean, but it made my number 5.
Okay. We see that 93 maybe not a strong year here. But,
well, there was some like really good movies up on the top line. Actually, my top 3, any one of them could have been the number 1.
Okay.
It was the way I arranged it. I kept like switching it. I'm going, well, why would I make this number 1? Why would I make this number 2? And then I had a set of reasons. Yeah. And then I changed it again and make another set of reasons.
Sure. Yeah. I hear you. Yeah. I definitely did that in the bottom. I wasn't 100% sure where I was going to go, but my number 5 is probably not on your list. It's a very heavy drama, and it is Philadelphia.
Yes. I was thinking about putting that on my list, and I just saw it maybe about 2 months ago for the first time.
Yeah.
And maybe in 1993 it was considered a really good movie, but I really did. I mean, it had a lot of good stars in it.
Of course.
Usually, and my favorite actors too were in it.
Yeah, Hanks.
From the past.
Robards, yeah.
But the story wasn't that great.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like your number 5. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite movies or one that I revisit a lot, but I put it mainly just for Hank's performance, which did win him his first Oscar, obviously. But yeah, he was amazing in the movie. And this was really, I don't think it was his first dramatic role, but one of the first where he was kind of going more in that direction from comedy. And it was amazing to see him, especially that scene, like where towards the end where the disease is really like ravaging his body and he's like listening to the opera music, and very emotional scene. But yeah, a lot of great actors, as you said, and he and Denzel Washington, handling most of the heavy lifting there. But a lot of the older people to Robards and I can't remember who else, but yes. so our number fives are kind of far low fives. So what's your four?
My number four, it's The Fugitive.
Ah, okay. That is my number three.
Okay, good. Tommy Lee Jones,
Yep.
obviously, played the U.S. Marshal that was chasing after Harrison Ford
Yep.
for allegedly committing murder on his wife.
Dr.
And
Richard Kimball.
yes, Dr. Richard Kimball. Actually, it was based on the TV series.
Yes, right.
A long TV series,
Mhm.
like chasing the one-armed man thing.
Right, right.
So at least the movie had a twist to it.
Yeah, where not to give it away, but someone else that he knew was involved.
Yeah.
And
There was a conspiracy. I won't mention what kind of conspiracy it was, so we
yes.
don't give it away. But
Yeah.
I mean, it was really good. And this was like probably that made Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh yeah, and
Like,
he stole the movie. Like Ford, as always, was great,
yeah,
and the action scenes were great, where he jumps off the bridge of the waterfall and everything. But that Tommy Lee Jones made that scene, like, because Harrison Ford goes, "I didn't kill my wife," and Tommy Lee Jones goes, "I don't care." And he's got a lot of the funny parts. His sidekick Joey Pants is great too. Like the whole team.
And
Yeah.
there was a scene at the end too where Ford goes to goes to the marshal. He goes, "I thought you didn't care."
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And he goes,
Exactly.
"Oh, don't tell anybody."
Yeah. Right. Right. So yeah, it's a great movie. It's one of those, like, if it ever comes on TV, I'll stop what I'm doing and watch it, because it's just kind of like a fun popcorn movie type thing. As
Yeah, good action movie.
Yeah. Yeah, the train sequence was really good too, like in the
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah.
And then of course the iconic scene where Tommy Lee Jones is like barking out orders, like, "I want stops at every rest stop," and whatever it is,
Yeah, right. Setting up a perimeter.
Yeah.
Let's see, he's on foot. Man
Right.
on foot can go such and such in such amount of time.
Yeah. While Harrison Ford with a big beard is running with the chains on. Yeah. Classic. So okay, great pick. So my number four is somewhat of an action movie as well. Carlito's Way.
I knew you would do Carlito's Way.
Yes. Directed by Brian De Palma. It's actually one of my favorite De Palma movies, right up there with Scarface. And Pacino in this movie, it almost feels in a way like a sequel to Scarface, because he's playing another Latin American. But in this instance, instead of being someone who's trying to rise to power and crime, he's trying to get out of it. He's obviously older in this movie, and he really wants nothing to do with his past, and he's trying to go legitimate, while also rekindling the old flame with his girlfriend, played by Penelope Miller, I think is her name. And the love story is nice. Has a lot of different actors. Sean Penn plays like this ridiculous coked up lawyer.
He always plays those weird parts.
Yeah, yeah, and he's got like this kind of afro-looking hairdo in the movie, which is funny. And then there's like actors that you wouldn't expect to show up in the movie, like Viggo Mortensen plays a Latin American with like no legs and a wheelchair, and that's a funny scene. But and then John Leguizamo is really good in it as Benny Blanco from the Bronx, who gets his revenge, and anyway, it's one of those crime movies that for some reason doesn't get like high and notoriety, like when you're talking about Goodfellas and Godfather and stuff like that. But it's another great Pacino movie that I think deserves to be on the list. So
Yeah,
there you
good
go.
pick.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I only saw it once, and it was a while ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought it was an okay movie.
Yeah. All right.
I
Well,
mean,
very good.
I think in '93, unlike '92 and '91, where there was like lots of like great movies, there
Yeah.
was like a couple of great movies, and then a bunch of okay movies.
Right. Yeah, I hear you for sure. I think 94 when we get to that one next time, that's a very strong year, like quantity and quality. But so what's your number 3?
My number three, and I believe this would be on your list too, but probably higher,
Mm.
Schindler's List.
Ah, yes, that's my number 2.
Directed by Steven Spielberg, obviously. This
Yep.
was his big drama. Uh, uh,
I'm surprised you have this as high as you do.
uh,
Didn't
yeah,
you hadn't even seen it for many years, right? Until recently?
yeah, I think I saw it like towards the end of last year. I finally saw it.
Okay.
Movie's done in black and white. Obviously, it's about the Holocaust,
Yep.
and the guys making money off the you know the people that the Jewish people.
Yeah,
Polish
Liam Neeson
people,
plays like
yeah,
the guy who owns the factory
yeah,
that
and he's exploiting those workers. But in the
correct, yeah.
meantime, he's also saving.
Right. And throughout the movie he really kind of has a bit of a transformation in that way, like when he realizes that he is saving lives, and then the friendship between him and the Ben Kingsley
Right.
character.
Yeah, his
uh
secretary or
yeah, yeah,
bookkeeper or whatever. Yeah.
right.
So yeah, it's it's not like an entertaining movie. It's like a real
Yeah.
out there in front movie
Oh yeah.
about something that the German people don't want to forget, obviously, because they were a part of it. But
Right.
with the Nazis that were doing this,
Yeah, at times it almost feels like a documentary, like the way that it's filmed,
yeah,
uh,
black and white.
with it being black and white. And then it's interesting too, like the little girl that's in the red dress, that's the only color that shows up in the movie. So that's like a metaphorical thing. But um, and that was kind of a key moment. Like the real Oscar Schindler said he remembered seeing this little girl just wandering around throughout this chaos. And that was like a real pivotal moment where he realized, like, my God, like the people surrounding me are like evil, basically. And yeah, by the end of the movie, man, it's like it's heavy. And but that last scene where he's like, I could have saved more people, I could have done more. That's a really emotional scene.
Yeah, it goes from exploitation to saving people.
Yeah,
Becoming a humanitarian.
right. And then it was cool how Spielberg showed like the real people going to the gravesite at the end,
Yeah,
showing their respect.
yeah,
So obviously a very personal movie for Spielberg,
yeah.
and won him his first Oscar. So very cool. All right, well,
It
great pick. Yeah,
took him a long time to get that Oscar, but
yeah, but definitely well deserved. So okay, so now you already know my number 3 and 2. So what's your number 2?
my number two is, I also believe this is on your list, Groundhog Day.
Yeah, my number 1.
Somehow I thought you were going to have that as number one.
Yep. Uh, yeah. So now
Directed
I
by
think I
Harold.
know what your number one is, but yeah,
Yeah,
directed by Harold Ramis,
right.
the great
Uh,
Bill Murray, of course.
Bill Murray too. And actually, they had a bitter conflict in this movie.
Yes, that's true. They didn't speak for a while after
Not
they
until
filmed this.
not until just before Ramos's death.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently I can't remember the gist of it, but it was something one of them, I think it was Murray, was like going through a divorce in real life, and it was kind of affecting the way he was dealing with others, and Ramis, this was a movie where there was a lot of repetition. And I think Murray was getting annoyed with Ramis, having him do things over and over again, that kind of
Well,
thing.
that wasn't just that. Ramos wanted to make it more of a comedy,
Ah, okay.
and Murray wanted to make it more philosophical.
Which it was in many parts.
Right, it was, so it
Yeah.
was comedy, and then it was, that physical, philosophical, where,
Right.
Murray's going from a complete asshole to, a human being. And
Yeah.
then even like during the movie, he was going through all these different stages,
Right.
denial and
Yeah.
anger, and, because,
Suicide even.
yeah, right, yeah.
Right. Yeah, he goes through the full range of emotions. I mean, it really, it's kind of like when you think of it that way, because you can look at it as just a comedy, but it's so much more. It's almost like an actor's dream. Like it's kind of like a Christmas Carol in a lot of ways. This guy who really transforms. It takes him a long time to get there, kind of like the Schindler's List story, but even more so because this guy really was a jerk at the beginning.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was
And
like all about him. He
yep,
was so self-centered. He didn't think like
yeah,
anybody else was
right,
owed anything,
right,
or he had to talk to him.
yeah,
They were just there to get him coffee.
yeah, right, right. And even when he thinks he's made, like halfway through the movie, he thinks he's become a better person because now he's in love with Annie McDowell, but that's not enough. Like it's not until he realizes that he needs to be about other people that he's able to move on
Yeah.
with
And once
the
he
next thing.
realized all this,
Yeah.
then the thing broke. The curse broke, or whatever.
Right, right.
Yeah.
The I got you, babe doesn't play anymore at 6 a.m. Oh man, but it's so many funny parts, man. Like
Oh yeah.
the guy on the street trying to sell him insurance, and then one
Yeah.
day he punches him in the face.
Well, that was his like big nemesis in the movie. The thing
Yeah.
that irritated him the most was that insurance guy.
Yeah, and by the end of the movie, he's actually bought several insurance policies from him. He's his best buddy. But yeah, it's so great. Like some of the other scenes where they're playing Jeopardy and he knows all the answers before they even ask the question. It's just there's so many cool things. But then, like you said, the philosophical stuff, like when he's trying to help out the homeless guy and keep him alive, but no matter what he does, he can't do it because you
Yeah,
can't control everything. So there's a lot of life lessons in the movie as well.
yeah,
But whatever their conflict was, they worked it out where it was the
yeah. It
best of
came out
both
to be
worlds.
a great movie.
Oh yeah. Well, cool. So I think I know your number one, which is my honorable mention, believe it
Oh
or
my
not.
God, you are.
The other Spielberg movie, right?
Yes, the Spielberg movie that was still being produced while he was directing Schindler's List.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. Yes,
Two totally different movies and
yes,
two of his best movies of all time.
in the same year.
Yep. Crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, just for the special effects alone, I probably should have put it in my top five, but
Yeah. Special effects made by Industrial Light and Magic
Yep.
of Star Wars fame.
Yes. Indeed.
Yeah, so
Um,
it's sort of like an apocalyptic movie in a way. That was Goldblum. He was always, going, you know,
kind of the comic relief.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
The
Goldblum's
dinosaurs
always
aren't
great.
supposed to be able to reproduce, and you know, he's going, yeah, well, nature always has a way.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
like those type of
And
things.
it's based on a Michael Crichton book, right?
Right, yes, it's basically he got a lot of money for that. He
Yeah.
got he got 1.5 million up front to for the
Wow.
rights of the book,
Yeah.
and then he got another 500. Uh, yeah, another 500.
Yeah.
Uh, thousand
Yeah.
be on the set and
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, the
So you got
timing was
you got
perfect though,
know,
as far as the special effects goes. Like the timing was perfect because it was just state of the art at the time. Like, the CGI wasn't even that much of a thing yet.
right. Yeah,
And
he wasn't even going to use CGI.
yeah.
And then ILM said, we can do this. And then you saw it and you go, whoa.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
there's some scenes, man, that are very tense. Like obviously the famous scene where you see the glass, the water moving because the
right.
T-Rex is coming, and then the raptors are very creepy.
Yeah.
Um,
But he used basically the same techniques he was using in Jaws,
yeah,
where
right,
he didn't show the raptors really until the end.
right,
You know,
exactly.
so it was in the beginning where he showed the kid's claw and
Right.
explained what it would do to the kid and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then it was like, when they were feeding it, saw the trees rustling.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
when, the raptor attacked the I don't know what you would call him. He wasn't a hunter, but he was like,
Right. Yeah,
the
exactly.
animal
The
keeper.
security guy, right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and you didn't see, you just saw a flash.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And yeah,
And
that was
then,
a cool part where he says clever girl because they learned,
yeah, right,
to
yeah,
separate. Yeah.
right. And the only time you really saw them was at the end with the kids.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the whole concept of the story is pretty terrifying when you think about like I actually heard somebody recently, they were saying this in a funny way, but it's probably true. The end of the world is going to be someone in a lab saying, "Oh, it worked," you know, because yeah, bringing dinosaurs back to life is not the greatest idea.
I mean, there's this Japanese company uh, that is trying to uh, clone woolly mammoths
Oh my God!
by using their DNA, and then uh, obviously they're going to use an elephant as a host.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh wow, that's
yeah,
insane.
I know. There was a special I saw on TV one time, so
Yeah.
it's there.
Right.
So this company already said what they were doing and stuff. I mean, they've already cloned other animals and stuff, but this is the first one that's trying to bring something that's extinct out of the past,
Right.
back alive again.
We're screwed, man. Whether
Yeah,
it's that or robots, that's probably even worse. But
yeah. So the
yeah.
movie goes from awe, from seeing these creatures and stuff,
Right.
to like industrial sabotage,
Yeah.
and then the issues that caused.
Right. Yeah. It was also great to see Wayne Newton get killed by that little thing that he thought was friendly, and then it starts
Yeah,
shooting
right.
poison at him. That
Yeah,
was a creepy scene as well. But
yeah, no, then he gets in the car and it's like,
yeah, right.
yeah,
Yeah, crazy stuff. So, okay. Well, this is going to be interesting to combine the list because I didn't even have, well, Jurassic Park was my honorable mention. What was your honorable mention?
my honorable mention was uh, Age of Innocence. Brian, uh,
Oh, right.
yeah,
The
Mark,
Scorsese movie.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Actually, he dedicated this movie to his father, and again, it was an okay movie. Daniel Day-Lewis was in it. It wasn't, like one of his usual action movies
Right.
type thing. It was kind of slow.
Hmm.
It was like it was a time period piece basically, and
Right.
it was like somebody that was snubbed by the upper society,
Yeah.
and then eventually was able to get back into society's good graces again.
Yeah. Right.
So it was more like a social society type movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Exactly.
actually, it actually didn't really do that good in in the box office, but that's why I just put it as an honorable mention. I mean, it was a decent movie to watch, a nice period type movie, like historical drama type movie. Uh, but you've seen it once.
Yeah.
That's all you need to see it type thing.
Okay. Well, this one I'm doing mathematically, and based on the average of our numbers on these, Groundhog Day comes out at 1 because it was my 1 and your 2. Then Schindler's List would be 2 because it was my 2 and your 3. Then Jurassic Park because it was your 1 and my 6. And then The Fugitive. And then I guess we got to put Carlito's Way at 5 because it was my number 4. And so you got all your top 4 in the top 4.
Okay.
Not bad. So, all right. Let's read out the official list, the best movies of 1993 as selected by 3 and 4. At number 5, Carlito's Way. At number 4, The Fugitive. At number 3, Jurassic Park. Eking out Jurassic Park at number 2, Schindler's List. And at number 1, Groundhog Day. Yeah. That's a good list, man. I think that's really the best 5.
Well, yeah, I mean, the top three. I mean, Jurassic Park, 912 million in its first run.
Yeah, I would say watch all 5 of those movies in a row, but that's going to be tough. I mean, Schindler's List is what, over 3 hours, I
Yeah,
think, or close to it. And
yeah.
then Groundhog Day sometimes feels like that. So,
Groundhog, it wasn't that long.
no.
Yeah.
But there's so much repetition. But yeah, great list. So check us out next time. We'll be doing 94, which like I said, it's a seminal year in movies. Lots of great ones. So we'll see what gets the number 1 spot. But happy Father's Day, everybody.
Yes,
And
Happy Father's Day.
yes. And I'll see you soon. Love you.
Love you too.
All right, bye.
Bye.